Hello, sorry, we just. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Thank you. I'm okay. I'm okay. A little shocked, but yeah.
I mean, look, it was an incredible job that you did on that film.
Thank you.
I mean, how was it in the first place to be asked by Steven Spielberg to cast his next film?
Well, it was crazy. Thank you. You know, you talk to the people that are asking you the questions. I think it was extraordinary. You know, as a child, those were the movies that I grew up on. Jaws terrified an entire generation of going into the ocean. I remember that, and I remember walking into the office to have one of our first meetings, and there's the poster on the wall, and I had to take it and send it to my mother, you know. So it's an extraordinary experience.
And what does it mean to see casting finally being, you know, acknowledged at award shows? Because for many years it wasn't, and it's always been such a key part of filmmaking.
Yeah, I think it's an art form, and I think it's finally being recognized as one, thanks to BAFTA and the Emmys in the United States. And I think that casting is no different than any other designer of any other film. So there's no different than costume design, production design. It's a key element, and it's an art and should be recognized. So we're grateful that you do.
Awesome. Yes, in second row.
Thank you. Steven Spielberg and Tony Kushner had that idea when they were working on the script. So it was very, very early on. And Steven called Rita to ask if she would participate, and not only as an actor, but also as an executive producer. And she said, and she declined, and she said, you know, I really want to work with you, but I just don't do cameos. And he's like, no, this is a real part. And then went on to explain, you know, that Doc is no longer there, it's Valentina, and then she was in.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you. Sorry. Yes.
We know that it was a really kind of long and intense cast, you know, with lots of open casting
Yeah.
calls. And was that sort of one of the most complicated casting experiences of your career?
You know, I had done them, you know, through my years of casting, but not at that scale and not at that level. And I think what is extraordinary about Steven Spielberg and his producer, Christy McCosker-Krieger, is they ask you, what do you need? They give it to you, and then they step out of the way, and they let you do what you do. And so we had the full support, financial as well as producerially, to just do it. And that is an extraordinary gift, because I think the amazing thing about working with Steven Spielberg is that he is an artist at the top, highest level, and he expects the same from all of the people that he collaborates with, but it is a true collaboration, so all the department heads collaborate at the highest level that he does. And so you just do it, and they assume that it's going to go well, because it usually does, because he's helming it.
Was there, kind of both ends of the scale with the characters, was there one that was really easy cast straight away, yeah, got that person, and then the
Yeah.
trickiest?
So, of course, you always think it's going to be Maria. You always think Maria is going to take the longest. And really, it was, I was hired a year and a half early, you know, to look for the 4 leads, 5 leads. Because essentially it was, Steven said, if we can't find them, then we're not going to make this movie. And so within the first 3 weeks of working and searching, we got Rachel Zegler's tape from a social media viral flyer that went viral. We got her tape, and as soon as you watch it, you know, it's excitement, but also immediately as a casting director, it's utter relief, because then you're like, okay, great, we got that. There's the anchor. Now we just have to look for all the other ones. And so to answer your question, I thought that Maria would be the hardest. And then it turned out, ultimately, I think that it was, you know, it goes between Bernardo and Anita, which one was trickiest. But Bernardo was giving us a little bit of a couldn't find him. And then we remembered, David Alvarez was one of the 3 Billy Elliots in the United States on Broadway, and he had won a Tony Award when he was 14 years old, but he dropped out of the business, and he went into the Army, and he didn't have an agent and couldn't find him, and we had seen the other 2 Billy Elliots, and I'm like, well, where's David Alvarez? I know that there were 3. Where is David Alvarez? And so we started tracking him and looking for him and reaching out to him and DMing him on social media, and he was backpacking in Mexico for 2 weeks with no cell phone service. So he finally gets back to Ohio, which is where he was living. He was like, okay, I'll just respond. Got his tape, and within 2 days of him responding, and then he was on a plane to meet Steven Spielberg the next week.
Hi. So there was obviously a bit of controversy about the age gap between Rachel and Ansel. Would you care to open up on like how you kind of paired them together and how their chemistry kind of oversaw that?
You know, I didn't hear this controversy. This is the first time. There's lots of controversy, but not that. So I don't really ever clock that was a problem whatsoever. To me, it never could, because Ansel's in his early 20s. And at the time that we started shooting, Rachel must have been 18. So to me, that wasn't a very big age gap. And also, I think Tony is not written as a specific age, but Maria is. And also, I'm going back to Romeo and Juliet, and I'm thinking, meh, no. I don't think that there's any problem with it whatsoever.
Fair enough. And how are you going to celebrate tonight?
I'm going to put this down because it's so heavy, you guys. And I'm going to have a drink.
Can I just get your, Ariana's just won the BAFTA.
She did not! Really? She just won and I missed it? You guys, I had to talk to I tried to get Ariana DeBose to audition 4 times. She would not come in, okay? She would not come in. She was busy. She was... I can't believe it. She was busy working on Broadway. She was rehearsing, and she was in previews for Summer, the Donna Summer show. And she's just like, I'm never going to get this. I'm not going in. I'm working. I'm rehearsing during the day. And finally, I picked up the phone, and I called her directly. And I said, Ariana. It was 10:30 at night, and we were having a big day the next day. And we were seeing a couple of other Anitas. And I'm just like, I need you to come in. I need you to come to Brooklyn, and I need you to meet Steven Spielberg. And she said, Cindy, it's so far. I'm in rehearsal. I'm in previews. You're giving me 20 pages of sides. I can't audition, and I can't read. This is Tony Kushner's script. I'm not going to be able to do it. I'll sing and I'll dance. That I know I can do. And so then she came, and she sang and she danced, and then Steven said, oh, great, will you now read for me? And she said, no. I explained to Cindy that I won't read because I just got these pages last night, but I will sing and dance. And then he just said, will you come back and read? And she said, yes, of course I will.
Adorable.
She won?
Yes.
You guys, that's amazing.
Well, listen, congratulations as well, Cindy Tolan.
Thank
That's
you
such a good job. Well done.
so much. Thanks, everybody.